there are new court documents in Bianca Kyne's New York lawsuit against Brian Warner, aka Marilyn Manson. Do these new filings contain allegations that could land Kyne and her legal team in hot water with the judge? Let's talk about it. On August 23rd, Marilyn Manson's attorneys filed several new legal documents responding to Kyne's recently submitted second amended complaint. These filings contain intriguing allegations against Kyne and her legal team that the judge might not be happy to hear about. But before I dive into this latest update, let me provide some essential background information for those unfamiliar with Kyne's lawsuit and her allegations. This context will help you better understand the history behind Kyne's initial allegations and the events leading up to the current lawsuit and developments. Initially coming forward as Bianca Elaine, Kyne came forward with her allegations against Manson in February 2021, and she was not alone. Following Evan Rachel Wood's social media post on February 1st, 2021, Kyne and several other women came forward with public allegations against Marilyn Manson throughout that same day and throughout the month. After coming forward, she was interviewed by a tabloid known as The Sun, which published 2 articles detailing her allegations. Later, she appeared on a popular podcast hosted by NT Lawyer, where she continued to add new claims. By late January 2023, nearly 2 years after her allegations, she escalated her allegations by filing a Jane Doe lawsuit in the state of New York. This led to several salacious media headlines as she now alleges a very different story when comparing her prior interviews and podcast episode that she was SA'd and alleged other abuses leading into adulthood. Manson, through his attorneys, has publicly denied all of the allegations Kyne has made in her lawsuit, with his attorney, Howard Kane, previously stating to the media, quote, "Brian Warner does not know this individual and has no recollection of ever having met her 28 years ago. He certainly was never intimate with her. She has been shopping her fabricated tale to tabloids and on podcasts for more than 2 years. But even the most minimal amount of scrutiny reveals the obvious discrepancies in her ever-shifting stories, as well as her extensive collusion with other false accusers." Shortly after filing this lawsuit, Kyne removed the Jane Doe pseudonym and replaced it with her legal name in the lawsuit, alleging someone had posted her address online. However, she provided no documentation of this claim, which came at a time when her name was being challenged to become public information in the lawsuit. This made her one of the initial social media accusers that came out in February 2021 to file a civil lawsuit against Manson, joining other names like Esme Bianco and Ashley Walters and several more. Notably, another accuser, Ashley Morgan Smithline, would later publicly recant her allegations just weeks after Kyne's New York lawsuit was filed. So if you want to learn more about the other Marilyn Manson lawsuits, including updates from this lawsuit and Marilyn Manson's lawsuit, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. But this brief overview covers her initial allegations, the start of her lawsuit, and brings us to these new filings today. So, the new court filings by Manson's attorney relate to a motion to dismiss, with the judge making a recent court ruling, and how Kyne's attorneys allegedly went against this court order and more. To understand what's going on, I need to explain the motion to dismiss, the judge's court order, and how that relates to these new documents. When Kyne initially filed this lawsuit, she didn't just file against Marilyn Manson, but also 2 record companies and 1 to 20 John Does. The lawsuit contained 5 total causes of action, with only 2 directly relating to allegations made against Manson. If you don't know what a cause of action is, it simply means they are the grounds that entitle someone to bring a lawsuit. In spring 2023, just a few months after this lawsuit was filed, Manson's attorney filed a motion to dismiss. Kyne's attorney responded with their own opposition, but agreed to remove portions of the lawsuit relating to allegations from Kyne when she alleges she was a child. This was likely because of the New York Adult Survivors Act, under which they were suing, which doesn't cover allegations made by individuals under the age of 18 or incidents from other states. After waiting for more than a year, the judge finally issued a court order explaining their ruling. Part of this ruling required Kyne to remove all of her claims related to events before she turned 18 and to file a new second amended complaint within 30 days. By early August, Kyne filed her second amended complaint. However, it appears she did not remove several of the claims as per the court order. On August 23rd, Manson's attorneys filed 3 new documents. These include a motion to strike and remove claims that should have already been eliminated according to the original court order and Kyne's own agreement in a previous court filing. Additionally, they provided 2 exhibits for the judge to review. Exhibit 1 is a July 15th press release from her counsel's website. This press release portrays the July 2nd court ruling as a win and falsely claims the lawsuit still involves childhood allegations, despite the July 2nd court order explicitly requiring the removal of such claims. Claims that Kyne had previously agreed to voluntarily drop from this lawsuit just last year. Exhibit 2 is an annotated copy of the newly filed second amended complaint. Manson's attorneys have highlighted sections in this document to show exactly what needs to be removed to comply with the court's order. It is important to note that when this press release was made public on the counsel's website, it also included Kyne's statement. This press release and her statement was then highly publicized in various media outlets. So not only was this information false, according to a July 2nd court order, but this press release and her statement was used in a way to promote her second lawsuit filed against him in the state of Louisiana, where it's likely she makes the same claims as in her New York lawsuit. This is what her statement says. No longer a nameless victim, I stand before you as Bianca Kyne, a survivor. Today I reclaim my voice, a voice stolen for far too long. I filed a lawsuit against Brian Warner, known publicly as Marilyn Manson, and the corporation that shielded him, Interscope. I feel empowered by the decision reached in New York Supreme Court, denying the defendant's motion to throw my case out of court under the Adult Survivors Act in New York. It is a testament that the tide is turning for survivors. This lawsuit exposes the horrific abuse Warner inflicted upon me in New York, a chilling continuation of the predatory behavior he began against me when I was a minor in Louisiana. Warner exploited his power and twisted influence to coerce me into his dark desires. The young girl he groomed in Louisiana became a victim of his perversion in New York. I filed a lawsuit for that conduct in Louisiana against him and his sibling corporation. That case is pending. For years I lived under his shadow, paralyzed by fear, but that fear no longer controls me. It has been replaced by an unwavering pursuit of justice. I stand tall, unafraid. I stand with every survivor who bravely speaks out. We are a chorus of truth, shattering the deafening silence that has protected predators for far too long. Each voice that rises exposes an industry that allows fame to mass abuse. This is not just about my personal story. This is about exposing an industry that prioritizes profit over the safety of vulnerable young women. I was unwillingly coerced into a world devoid of light. Today, I fight to bring humanity, compassion, and morality back to the entertainment industry. Every survivor deserves justice. Today, I claim mine. These filings demonstrate how Kyne appears to have failed to follow both the court's order and her own prior agreement to remove such claims, and it appears they are bringing this to the judge's attention to show the discrepancy between the court's order, Kyne's public statements, and the content of her amended complaint. As I am recording this, the press release, which includes the public statement by Kyne, has been removed from her counsel's website.